Thank you for joining me, Joe Dobrowski, for this brief look at the Presentation Builder pane. The Presentation Builder pane is located here. And the Presentation Builder pane is where I am going to build my presentation. I build my presentation with items from the library and my library area. For example, if I select a category in the library that has content in it, the content is shown in the Content pane, and I can add pieces of content to my presentation by using drag and drop, or by highlighting those pieces of content and choosing the add buttons. I can do the same exact thing from the My Library area. For example, if I know that I've used a slide in the Presentation 4 presentation, I can highlight that presentation, and the contents of that presentation are shown to me in the Content pane. Now I know I want to add this less chess slide, so I just drag and drop that from the Content pane and add that to my current presentation. Now that I have content in my presentation, I can rearrange the presentation if I like by using drag and drop. For example, if I want to move this less chess slide to be between chess and chart, I drag and drop that, and where that's going to be dropped is indicated by that red bar. And you can see that that's going to be placed between chess and chart slides. Now if I release this, I get a message saying that auto sort needs to be turned off. And auto sort is a feature that keeps items in the order in which they appear in the library pane. So for instance, a slide that was added from the samples category would always appear before a slide that was added in the quotes category when added to the Presentation Builder pane. In this case, I want to disable auto sort, so I choose the OK button. And my slide is moved to where it was indicated with that red bar. If I wanted to turn auto sort back on and put the slides back into the order they appear in the library, I just recheck auto sort here. And the slides are resorted back to how they appear in the library. I can change the view of my presentation by coming over here and editing these view options. I can choose between the panel view and the flow view here. I can also zoom in and out by adjusting the zoom bar. If I want, I can add a cover and title slide by choosing that option from the Insert menu. Also, if I wanted to add a proposal tool, I could choose to add that proposal tool slides from this proposal tools dropdown. If I wanted to preview what this presentation would look like, I would choose the preview button. And this actually opens up a new window and allows me to see the preview of the presentation itself. So once that preview is complete, it's opened up into its own window. And I have the same view options available that I have in the Presentation Builder pane as well. Once I'm finished with that, I can just close the preview window and I'm brought back to Presentation Builder. And I can remove any slides or items from my presentation by highlighting them and choosing the Remove option. Also, if I wanted to start with a brand new presentation, I could choose the Remove All option here as well, which will clear out the Presentation Builder pane. And once I'm ready to save, I choose the Save dropdown, and I can choose Save as Draft Collaborate, or I can choose Save as Final/Deliver. Saving this presentation as a draft will save it to the draft folder in my presentations area. Draft is like a work in progress. It allows me to save many iterations of the presentation before the final presentation. And each iteration of the presentation that I save as draft can be seen and can also be reverted back to. A draft cannot be saved or downloaded or shared outside of Presentation Builder. So it's really just a work in progress. And if I wanted to save it as a final presentation is a presentation that I've decided that I'm ready to make available to my client. And I can deliver this final presentation by downloading it or creating a share link to it. And however, I can't edit the content of the final presentation, but if I do need to make changes to the final presentation, I can actually revert it back to draft and then make those changes and save it back to final and deliver it to my customer. There's a detailed look at all of these save options available in another post that'll be linked to this article as well. In this example, I'm just going to save it as a draft, and I'm going to name it Demo Presentation. And because I have a Salesforce integration enabled, I'm going to choose an account that's linked to Salesforce and also an opportunity here as well. And I'm going to add some further information about this draft, an audience and a description. And this potential revenue is loaded for my Salesforce opportunity. And if I wanted to collaborate with other users, I could choose to collaborate with the user here. And I'm not going to do that here. I'm just going to choose Save. And once this is saved, the demo presentation is saved into my drafts folder, my presentations area, where it's available for me to come back and create more iterations and finally save it as final when I'm ready to deliver it to my client. Also note that after I save it to the draft, the name of the presentation is added to the presentation builder pane header here. And what type, in this case, it's a draft. And if I change this view, I notice that the backslash for presentation builder pane is also changed to draft. Thank you for joining me for this brief look at the presentation builder pane. Thank you.